Hello human beings, I am CrazyLexian and welcome back to VR in a World here. Today we are testing out an MMORPG game that is called Zenith. Zenith is the usual MMO game where you have the giant world with instances and dungeons and a free roam with enemies everywhere you look, along with partying up with other people. When you create your character, you can choose between male and female, but sadly there isn't the biggest difference on them visually. You have two different classes. A third should be coming. The two classes are melee, aka swordsman, and a spellcaster. I played as the spellcaster, as I have heard that the swordman is kind of a workout, as you have to really throw the swords around. As the spellcaster you have two energy weapons on your hip that you grab and then shoot with. They also have a charge function that does more damage. As you level up as the spellcaster, you get spells that you can use by doing hand gestures. One is holding down the grip button and moving your hand down, if you aren't holding anything. And another is pressing the trigger. I did look into the skills and there is a bit more to be unlocked. There is EU, US and Asia located servers, but the character is not locked to one server. Not even one region as far as I could figure out. So your character is basically locked to your account, but you can jump into any server that you want to, which I really like, and wish that all MMORPG games did this. I think it would be impossible with some games though. You start out in a nice tutorial that tells you exactly how you play the game. To accept the quest, you wave at the NPC or click the quest sign next to them. You move around by using the joystick on your left hand on the Oculus/Meta Quest 2, or using the touchpad on the left hand on the HTC Vive. On the HTC Vive, it's actually touch, which I personally don't like, as you can easily miss touch, so you move unintentionally. There's also teleporting movement in the game, and it's active even though you choose smooth locomotion, which is a nice add-on. The game has a good amount of motion sickness options, so if you do get motion sickness, there is most likely a setting that will fit you. The game has snap turning and it's on 45 degrees by default. You can change that to 30 degrees, or smooth, or another option. I used 30 degrees as that fits me. You can turn by using the joystick on your right hand controller on the Oculus/Meta Quest 2. But for the HTC Vive, they're missing the button mapping, so you need to add them manually with the Steam VR, which is a big problem that they haven't fixed that yet, if you ask me. So to be able to use snap turning in Zenith on the HTC Vive, you need to open Steam VR, then go to Settings, and click Controllers. In there you select Manage Controller Bindings, and then click the drop-down menu and select Zenith. Then you click Choose Another, and then activate Fixed Snap Turning for Vive under the Community Bindings. There's already made map bindings for the game with different versions of snap turning. There's even a toggle hold map binding for your grip buttons, so you don't have to force grip the controllers when you are a swordman or a spellcaster in the game. So go test them out. I tested two of them and they work perfectly. But it's still sad that it's not default in the game with the snap turning, so you have to find a solution yourself. You can activate a tiny little radar by pressing A on your right hand on the Oculus Meta Quest 2, or pressing the touchpad on the right hand on the HTC Vive, which also activates the overlay with the quest that you have on the left top end of the screen. The radar shows you where your quest is, and enemies is to an extent. I haven't used it that much, as I kind of found it confusing with one of the quests that I had early in the game, rather than just looking around in the world. The game is very pretty and kinda gives me the vibes from the anime Sword Art Online, except for the not being able to log out part, and real life death, thankfully. The world is giant and I've only explored 0.3% of it so far. The game allows you to climb on any surfaces that you can see. All you have to do is holding down the grip button to grip a surface and then begin to climb. But be aware of your stamina, as if your stamina is getting to 0, It will drop you from wherever you are, which can be very creepy and sickening for some VR players. If you jump out from any place in the game, you can then stretch out your arms like a bird, and then you will float, but still using stamina. So still be aware of that. There are some upgoing winds around the world that will push you further up in the air, so you can glide further. So to battle as a spellcaster, you as said have 2 blasters on your hips that you can grip with the grip buttons, and press the trigger to shoot, or hold down the trigger to charge up the shot. You can also mix in your spell abilities while shooting with the other hand, though be aware that some abilities can be locked to one hand and not be usable for both hands, as in one can be locked by only be usable on your right hand, and others can be used by both hands. I personally like to use the Oculus / MetaQuest 2 more than the HTC Vive because of the physical joysticks and better grip buttons compared to the HTC Vive touchpad and grip buttons, as the game is pretty heavy on using your grip buttons. But after finding the key mappings that other people have made, example the toggle grip button, it actually became very good to use the HTC Vive. Still, you have touch buttons instead of a actual joystick or a click button that I don't like. You can cook in the game, and that is done by opening the menu and clicking on the cooking menu, where it then summons a full kitchen desk. And this is where the fun part starts, because you have to actually mix the ingredients, as in heating the milk and baking the dough, to then put it in a baker to make cookies. I did have problems with the recipe text overlapping itself though, so it was hard to read what I actually had to mix together to make a cookie. I reached out to the developers, they haven't reached back to me about that one. There is chests around the world that you hit for it to open, and then it will give you some loot, either craft loot or gear. I only played a little of Zenith so far, but so far I haven't seen anything that will do so it's not playable as a wheelchair user. The only thing I would like to change a little bit is the hip utility belt to be a little wider, but it works without a problem as it is currently. The game is visually good, but for the HTC Vive it's also one of the games where the screen door effect is being noticed. The game is on Steam for €24.99. It's on the Oculus Store for $29.99, and finally it's also on the Quest 2 store for $29.99. So guys, this was my review of Zenith. Remember that I'm streaming here on YouTube every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday at 2 PM EST. The time will also be on the screen in the top left corner. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then remember to press the like button. Also remember to press the subscribe button if you want to see more VR test videos or my live streams. And also press the bell to get a notification when I'm uploading something new. If you feel like I'm missing something or could have done something differently, then leave a comment. You're welcome to leave a comment anyway, saying hi or asking me any questions that you might have. But with that said guys, I'm off, so I will see you in the next video or live stream. Bye!
To glide, hold your arms out at your sides, making a T shape with your body. Then walk off any ledge, or simply let go while climbing. Look at that billowing cyclone. We should glide in there, right? These updrafts will rocket us up in the air and give a boost to stamina.